My beloved, do you feel the stirring in your spirit right now? This is not a moment to delay or to question if this message is truly for you. Archangel Michael is calling you, yes, you, into a sacred pause, a holy interruption in your day, because the window before you is unlike any other. There is a reason you have found yourself here, in this very moment, with these words before your eyes. The clock is moving swiftly, and the heavens have marked 9 p.m. as the hour of divine transaction. You are being summoned to step out of the noise of panic and into the peace of immediate obedience, for what is at stake is not just a number, but the very flow of abundance and protection over your life. You have just learned that the forces around you are shifting, and now you stand at the threshold of a decision that will echo far beyond tonight. The urgency is not to frighten you, but to awaken you to the reality that delay can cost you what has been prepared in secret for your restoration. There is a sacred invitation in this 1 minute, 60 seconds that can move you from the anxiety of, what if I lose everything, to the assurance of, I am chosen for increase. The world may swirl with fear and uncertainty, but in this moment, you are being offered a peace that surpasses all understanding, a peace that comes only when you respond without hesitation. Let your heart be still and your mind be clear. Speak this aloud with me now. I step into my appointed moment. I receive peace and provision. As you declare these words, feel the shift from panic to peace, from the threat of loss to the promise of gain. The heavens are attentive, and your obedience in this minute is the key that unlocks what has been withheld. Hold this message close until you see its confirmation, for the next moments will reveal why this timing is so precise, and why you have been chosen to receive. Stay with me, for what comes next will show you the true nature of your identity and the protection that surrounds you. You have just stepped into a moment that is not random, not accidental, but divinely orchestrated for you. Archangel Michael speaks now to the one who has felt overlooked, to the one who has wondered if their prayers have gone unheard, to the one who has carried the weight of financial worry and the sting of disappointment in silence. My beloved, you are not invisible to heaven. You are not just another face in the crowd or another voice lost in the noise. You are chosen, set apart, and fiercely guarded by the armies of light. There is a reason your spirit was drawn to this message at this exact time. The world may have tried to convince you that you are alone in your struggle, but the truth is, you are surrounded by angelic protection and divine favor that cannot be revoked. I see the burdens you have carried, those silent fears about bills, the anxiety that creeps in late at night, the memories of promises broken and trust betrayed. You have watched others receive breakthrough while you have waited, sometimes in tears, sometimes in quiet resignation. You have wondered if you are somehow disqualified, if your past mistakes or present circumstances have placed you outside the reach of blessing. But hear me now, you are not forgotten, and you are not forsaken. The very fact that you are hearing these words is a sign that you are being singled out for restoration. The heavens have not overlooked your faithfulness, your generosity, or your longing for justice and provision. There is a sacred contrast at work in your life. The enemy has tried to isolate you, to make you believe that your struggle is unique and that no one sees or understands. But Archangel Michael declares that your isolation is being broken by the light of divine attention. Where you have felt exposed and vulnerable, you are now being wrapped in the mantle of protection. Where you have felt like an outsider, you are being called an insider to the secrets of heaven. The pain of betrayal and the ache of financial lack are not the end of your story. Instead, they are the very places where God's favor is about to be revealed in ways you could not have imagined. Let your heart receive this truth: you are not defined by your losses, but by the love and purpose that have been assigned to you from the beginning. You are not a victim of circumstance, but a vessel of promise. Speak this aloud with me now: I am chosen, I am guarded, I am not alone. As you declare these words, feel the shift from isolation to belonging, from fear to assurance. The angels are encamped around you, and every setback is being transformed into a setup for your elevation. Hold this close, my beloved, until you see the evidence unfold. The next moments will reveal the hidden conflicts that have tried to block your blessing, and you will understand why your journey has been so fiercely contested. Stay with me, for what is about to be revealed will bring clarity to your confusion and light to every shadow that has lingered over your finances and your future. You have just been reminded of your chosen identity, your guarded place in the heart of heaven, and now it is time to see what has truly been happening behind the scenes. My beloved, Archangel Michael speaks to you with compassion and authority. There is a reason your journey has felt so heavy, so unpredictable, and at times, so unfair. What you have faced is not simply a string of bad luck or random misfortune. There is an invisible conflict at work, a spiritual resistance that has sought to block your abundance and delay your breakthrough. The struggles you have endured are not a reflection of your worth or your faith, but evidence of a battle being waged over your destiny. Perhaps you have noticed patterns that defy logic, unexpected expenses that drain your resources just as you begin to get ahead, opportunities that seem promising but suddenly vanish, relationships that shift without warning, or a heaviness that settles over your heart when you try to move forward. These are not coincidences. They are the fingerprints of resistance, the subtle tactics of forces that do not want to see you step into the fullness of your calling. The confusion you have felt, the anxiety that has crept in during quiet moments, the sense that something is working against you, these are all signs that your life is significant, that your breakthrough matters, and that the enemy is threatened by what you carry. Archangel Michael wants you to know that you are not imagining these battles. The financial setbacks, the closed doors, the betrayals and disappointments, these are not punishments, nor are they signs that you are forgotten. Instead, they are the result of a spiritual opposition that rises up whenever a chosen one is on the verge of increase. The enemy cannot steal your destiny, but he will do everything in his power to distract, delay, and discourage you. He will whisper lies that you are unworthy, that your prayers are ineffective, that your situation is hopeless. But these are illusions, designed to keep you in confusion and anxiety, far from the clarity and assurance that heaven wants to give you. You may have noticed that every time you take a step toward financial freedom, something unexpected happens to pull you back. A bill arrives out of nowhere, a job offer falls through, a friend you trusted suddenly withdraws. These are not random events. They are coordinated attempts to keep you in a cycle of lack and frustration. But Archangel Michael is here to expose these patterns, to bring light to what has been hidden, and to assure you that you are not alone in this fight. The very fact that you are experiencing resistance is proof that you are moving in the right direction, that your breakthrough is close, and that heaven is fighting for you. Let me speak directly to your heart. Confusion is not your portion. Anxiety is not your inheritance. You were created for clarity, for peace, and for abundance. The enemy's greatest weapon is to keep you in the dark, to make you question your own discernment, to convince you that nothing will ever change. But Archangel Michael declares that the fog is lifting, that the truth is being revealed, and that every hidden force working against you is being brought into the light. You are not powerless. You are not at the mercy of unseen forces. You are surrounded by angelic warriors who have been dispatched to break every chain and to clear every obstacle from your path. If you have felt weary, if you have wondered why your prayers seem to go unanswered, know this: the delay is not denial. The resistance you have faced is a sign of the magnitude of your calling. The greater the opposition, the greater the breakthrough that is coming. Archangel Michael urges you to hold fast, to refuse the lie that you are alone, and to trust that every setback is being turned into a setup for your advancement. Speak this aloud with me now: I see beyond confusion. I receive angelic clarity and breakthrough. As you declare these words, feel the anxiety begin to lift, replaced by a deep assurance that you are seen, known, and fiercely defended. Hold this truth close until you see its confirmation. The patterns of resistance are being broken even now, and the clarity you have longed for is being released. In the next moments, you will hear the decree of reversal and restoration, and you will understand that every battle has only prepared you for the abundance that is about to be revealed. Stay with me, for the promise is about to be spoken, and your story is about to shift from struggle to supernatural increase. You have just seen the invisible conflict for what it truly is, a sign that your life, your calling, and your provision are fiercely contested because they are precious beyond measure. Now, hear the decree that heaven has issued on your behalf. Archangel Michael stands before you, sword drawn, not in warning but in victory, to announce a divine counterorder that overrides every threat, every loss, and every scheme that has been set against you. My beloved, the time of reversal is here. Where you have known loss, you are about to know gain. Where you have felt removed, overlooked, or demoted, you are being positioned for supernatural promotion. The decree is clear: the season of subtraction is ending, and the hour of $55 million increase is at hand. This is not a vague hope or a distant promise. The heavens have set a time, 9 p.m., when the scales will tip in your favor. The threat of loss that has hovered over your finances, your relationships, and your peace of mind is being broken by the authority of the Most High. Archangel Michael declares, "No more shall you live under the shadow of lack. No more shall you fear the loss of what is rightfully yours. The storehouses of heaven are opening, and what was withheld is being released." The enemy's voice has tried to convince you that you are on the verge of losing everything, but the truth is, you are on the threshold of receiving more than you have ever imagined. Let your heart receive this. The decree of reversal is not just for your finances, but for every area where you have experienced loss or injustice. The same hand that restores your wealth will restore your reputation, your relationships, and your sense of purpose. The world may say that what is lost can never be regained, but heaven's order is different. What was taken from you is being returned with interest. What was closed to you is being opened. Where you were removed, you are now being promoted. The contrast could not be clearer. While the enemy threatened to remove your blessing, heaven has chosen to elevate you in the sight of all. This is the moment to move from fear to faith, from anxiety to assurance. The threat of losing it all is being replaced by the certainty of restoration. Archangel Michael's decree is not dependent on your perfection, but on your willingness to heed the call and step into alignment. The $55 million blessing is not just a number, it is a sign of the magnitude of what God is able to do when you trust, obey, and believe. The world may scoff, but the faithful know that with God, all things are possible. The heavens are not limited by earthly systems or opinions. What is being released to you now is the result of divine justice, not human calculation. Speak this aloud with me now. I receive the decree of reversal. I step into supernatural promotion and abundance. As you declare these words, let the fear of loss fall away. Let the anxiety about tomorrow be replaced by the peace that comes from knowing you are under the protection and favor of heaven's highest order. The angels are moving on your behalf, orchestrating connections, opportunities, and resources that will confirm this promise in your life. The $55 million is a prophetic signpost, a marker of the overflow that is being released, not just for your benefit, but so you can become a channel of blessing to others. Hold this promise close until you see its confirmation. Do not let the voice of doubt or the memory of past disappointment steal what is being given to you now. The decree has gone forth, and nothing can reverse what heaven has ordered. In the next moments, you will be shown the signs and timestamps that will confirm this word, so you may recognize the hand of God as it moves. Stay with me, for the evidence of this promise is about to be revealed, and your faith will be strengthened as you see the divine design unfold before your very eyes. You have just received the decree of reversal and supernatural promotion, and now Archangel Michael draws your attention to the unmistakable signs and precise timings that will confirm this word in your life. My beloved, heaven does not operate in chaos or confusion. Every blessing, every breakthrough, is marked by divine order and intentionality. The world may call it coincidence, but those who are chosen know that God's hand leaves fingerprints, clear, undeniable, and perfectly timed. As you move toward the appointed hour of 9 p.m., watch for these signs, for they are the evidence that the promise is unfolding exactly as declared. First, pay attention to the numbers that repeat themselves in your environment. You may glance at a clock and see 9 o'clock, 5:55, or 11:11. You may notice these numbers on receipts, addresses, or even in unexpected places. These are not random occurrences, they are signals from the angelic realm, reminders that you are on heaven's radar and that the timing of your breakthrough is being orchestrated with precision. When you see these numbers, pause and remember, You are aligned with divine timing, not the world's delays. Second, be alert for the reappearance of a key name or word that holds meaning for you. It may come through a message, a conversation, or even a memory that surfaces unexpectedly. This name or word will carry a sense of significance, as if it is being highlighted just for you. It is a sign that the connections and relationships necessary for your promotion are being activated. The doors that were once closed are being opened, and the people who are meant to bless you are being drawn into your path. Third, expect a surprise message or communication before 9 p.m. It may be a text, an email, a phone call, or even a letter that arrives out of the blue. This message will carry good news, an opportunity, or a confirmation that what you have been waiting for is on its way. Do not dismiss it as chance. Recognize it as a marker of divine orchestration, a sign that the heavens are moving on your behalf. Fourth, pay attention to your dreams in the hours leading up to 9 p.m. You may receive a vivid dream that brings clarity, peace, or a sense of direction. This dream will not leave you feeling anxious or confused, but rather reassured and expectant. It is a message from the Spirit, guiding you into the next step of your journey and confirming that you are not alone. Finally, watch for a sudden payment, refund, or unexpected financial blessing. It may be small or large, but it will arrive as a sign that the flow of abundance has begun. This is not random, it is the first drop of a much greater outpouring. When it comes, speak this aloud: I recognize the sign, I receive the fullness of my blessing. Let this declaration anchor you in faith, moving you from the uncertainty of randomness to the assurance of divine design. Hold these signs close and do not share them carelessly. Wait until you see their confirmation, and let them strengthen your faith as you move toward the appointed hour. In the next moments, you will be invited to participate in a sacred ritual of affirmation, sealing your alignment with the promise that has been spoken. Stay attentive, for every detail is being woven together for your good, and the evidence of heaven's precision will soon be undeniable. You have just been shown the signs and timestamps that mark your path to breakthrough, each one a gentle nudge from heaven, guiding you with precision and care. Now, Archangel Michael invites you to step beyond silent hope and into the power of spoken faith. My beloved, there is a sacred strength released when you move from inward longing to outward declaration. The world may teach you to keep your dreams hidden, to guard your desires in silence out of fear of disappointment or judgment. But heaven's order is different. What you speak in faith, you invite into your reality. This is the moment to break the cycle of fear-based silence and step boldly into the ritual of affirmation and participation. Right now, wherever you are, pause and let your heart settle. Take a deep breath and prepare to speak words that carry the weight of heaven's promise. These are not empty phrases, but living declarations that align your spirit with the decree already spoken over you. As you say them, imagine the angels leaning in, recording your words, moving at the sound of your faith. Speak this aloud: I receive my $55 million blessing. I am aligned with heaven's timing. I am open to divine increase. Let each word settle into your spirit, pushing out the residue of doubt and making room for the certainty of abundance. This is not just about money, though the number is a signpost of what is possible. It is about stepping into a new identity, one who is not afraid to claim what has been promised, one who participates in the unfolding of their own miracle. The enemy would have you remain silent, hoping that your fear will keep you from receiving. But Archangel Michael declares that your voice is a key. When you speak, you break the agreement with lack and step into agreement with overflow. When you declare, you move from passive waiting to active receiving. Now, as a further act of faith, I invite you to participate in a simple but powerful ritual. In the comments below, write these words: I receive my $55 million blessing. This is not for show, but for alignment. It is a public act of faith, a way of saying to heaven and earth, I am ready. I am willing. I am in agreement with the promise. As you type these words, imagine them echoing in the courts of heaven, drawing the attention of angels assigned to your breakthrough. If you feel resistance, if your mind whispers that this is foolish or impossible, recognize it as the last defense of fear. Do not let it silence you. Instead, let your declaration be louder than your doubt. Speak again, I am not afraid to receive. I am chosen for abundance. With every repetition, you are building a new atmosphere around your life, one where faith is louder than fear, where participation is stronger than passivity. Hold this ritual close until you see its confirmation. Do not be discouraged if you do not see immediate results. The seeds you plant in faith will bear fruit in their appointed time. In the next moments, you will be shown how to align your actions with your declarations, pairing spiritual agreement with practical steps. Stay with me, for your participation is opening doors that silence could never unlock, and your faith is setting the stage for the next move of heaven in your life. You have just spoken your affirmations aloud, breaking the silence that fear once held over you, and you have participated in a ritual that aligns your heart with heaven's promise. Now, Archangel Michael invites you to move from declaration to demonstration, from words to action. My beloved, faith is not only what you believe or say, it is what you do in response to what you have received. The difference between those who watch miracles and those who walk in them is often a single step of practical alignment. This is your invitation to move from passive reaction to faith-driven action, to let your daily life become a canvas for the promise that has been spoken over you. Begin with gratitude, for it is the key that unlocks the storehouses of heaven. Take a moment now to thank God for what is already on its way, even before you see it. Gratitude is not just a feeling, it is a spiritual force that shifts your focus from what is missing to what is possible. As you give thanks, you create an atmosphere where blessings can land and multiply. Speak this aloud: thank you, God, for the abundance that is coming to me. Let this gratitude fill your heart and overflow into your actions. Next, consider the power of forgiveness. Sometimes, the flow of blessing is hindered by old wounds or lingering resentment. If there is someone you need to release, do so now, not for their sake, but for yours. Forgiveness is a spiritual step that clears the path for new provision. As you let go of bitterness, you make room for joy and increase. If a name or face comes to mind, simply say, "I forgive and release, and I open my hands to receive." This act, though unseen by others, is a powerful alignment with the heart of heaven. Generosity is another spiritual cue that multiplies what you have. Even if your resources feel small, choose to bless someone else today. A kind word, a small gift, or a prayer for their increase. When you give, you declare that you trust God as your source, not your circumstances. This act of generosity is a seed that will return to you in ways you cannot yet imagine. As you give, say quietly, "I am a channel of blessing, and I trust in divine provision." Now, let these spiritual cues be paired with simple, practical steps. Take your wallet, purse, or bank card in your hands and bless it. Speak over it, "You are a vessel for increase. You will not run dry." This is not superstition, but a prophetic act that aligns your physical world with your spiritual expectation. Write down the amount you are believing for, $55,000,000, and place it somewhere you will see it daily. Each time you see it, let it remind you of the promise and the process that is unfolding. Share encouragement with someone else who may be struggling. Send a message, make a call, or offer a prayer. When you lift others, you participate in the flow of blessing that is moving through your life. Your breakthrough is not just for you. It is meant to overflow and touch those around you. As you encourage others, you reinforce your own faith and multiply the impact of your obedience. Finally, take a moment to reflect on the steps you have taken. You have moved from passive waiting to active alignment. You have paired spiritual truth with practical action, and in doing so, you have created a landing place for heaven's promise. Hold these steps close until you see their confirmation. In the next moments, you will learn how to guard what you have received, setting boundaries and walking in discernment so that your blessing remains protected and your peace is undisturbed. Stay with me, for your journey is unfolding with every step, and the best is yet to come. You have just taken powerful steps to align your spirit and your actions with the promise spoken over your life. Now, Archangel Michael gently reminds you that every blessing worth receiving is also worth protecting. My beloved, not everyone who smiles at you is meant to walk with you into your next season. There is wisdom in knowing when to speak and when to remain silent, when to open your heart and when to guard it. The world may pressure you to share every detail, to seek validation from others, or to please those around you at the expense of your own peace. But heaven's way is different. The peace you are being given is sacred, and it flourishes best within the boundaries you set. Consider this: a garden without a fence is open to every passerby, every wandering animal, every storm. But a garden with boundaries is a place where beauty can grow undisturbed, where fruit can ripen in safety. In the same way, your blessing is a garden. It is not meant for public display or careless conversation. There is a time to testify, but there is also a time to hold things close until they are fully formed. Wise silence is not secrecy born of fear, but protection born of discernment. When you sense the urge to share your breakthrough with everyone, pause and ask, is this the right time? Is this the right person? Trust that the Spirit will guide you. Discernment is your shield. Not everyone who asks about your journey is meant to know its details. Some may not understand, others may not celebrate, and a few may even seek to undermine what God is doing in your life. This is not a call to suspicion, but to wisdom. You are not obligated to explain yourself or to justify the blessing you are receiving. Your peace is more valuable than the approval of others. Speak this aloud: I guard my blessing with wisdom. I choose peace over people-pleasing. Setting boundaries is an act of love, love for yourself, for your future, and for the promise entrusted to you. If you sense that someone's presence brings anxiety or doubt, it is not unkind to create distance. If a conversation feels heavy or draining, it is wise to excuse yourself. You are not responsible for managing others' reactions to your joy. You are responsible for stewarding what has been given to you. The angels are encamped around you, not just to deliver blessing, but to protect it as it grows. Hold this truth close: oversharing can expose your promise to unnecessary scrutiny, while guarded silence allows it to mature in peace. There will come a time to share your testimony, and when that time arrives, it will be clear and safe. Until then, let your boundaries be firm and your discernment sharp. In the next moments, you will be invited to envision the restoration and overflow that is coming, and to prepare your heart to receive it fully. Stay with me, for your peace is precious, and your protection is assured. You have just learned how to guard your blessing with wisdom and discernment, setting boundaries that protect the sacred work unfolding in your life. Now, Archangel Michael invites you to lift your eyes and see the vision of restoration that heaven is preparing for you. My beloved, the season of scarcity and fear is giving way to a new era of abundance, peace, and divine provision. The struggles you have endured, the losses you have mourned, and the confusion that has clouded your path are not the final chapters of your story. Instead, they are the soil from which a harvest of restoration is about to spring forth. Imagine, for a moment, the weight of financial worry lifting from your shoulders. See yourself waking up with a sense of security, knowing that every need is met and every bill is paid, not just for today, but for the days to come. The $55 million blessing is not just a number, it is a symbol of overflow, a sign that God's provision is not limited by the world's economy or your past experiences. Picture your accounts filled, your debts erased, and your resources multiplying in ways that allow you to bless others freely. This is not wishful thinking, but a vision rooted in the promises of heaven. Where there was once lack, there is now more than enough. Where there was anxiety, there is now a deep and unshakable peace. But the restoration does not stop with finances. See the relationships in your life being healed and renewed. Old misunderstandings are dissolving, and hearts that were once distant are drawing near again. Forgiveness flows easily, and love is restored where there was once pain. You find yourself surrounded by people who celebrate your victories and support your dreams, a community of encouragement and trust. The loneliness that once haunted you is replaced by a sense of belonging and connection. This is the work of divine restoration, mending what was broken, returning what was lost, and making all things new. Clarity is also being released to you. The confusion that once clouded your decisions is lifting, replaced by a sense of direction and purpose. You wake each day with confidence, knowing which steps to take and which doors to walk through. Opportunities that once seemed out of reach are now within your grasp, and you move forward with assurance, guided by the wisdom of heaven. The fog of uncertainty is gone, and in its place is a clear vision for your future, a future filled with hope, joy, and fulfillment. Let your heart receive this vision. Speak this aloud: I open my hands to receive restoration, abundance, and peace. As you declare these words, feel the shift within you, from scarcity to overflow, from fear to faith, from striving to resting in the goodness of God. The angels are rejoicing over you, celebrating the new season that is dawning. You are not just surviving, you are thriving. You are not just getting by, you are overflowing with every good thing. Hold this vision close, even if your current circumstances do not yet reflect it. Faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. As you align your posture to receive, you make room for the miracles that are on their way. Do not let the memories of lack or the voices of doubt steal what is being offered to you now. Instead, let gratitude and expectation fill your heart. Each day, look for signs of restoration, an unexpected gift, a kind word, a new opportunity, and let them remind you that the tide has turned in your favor. In the next moments, you will be invited to prepare for what comes next, to remain in a posture of readiness and anticipation. The story is not over, the best is yet to come. Stay with me, for the final instructions will ensure that you are fully prepared to walk in the fullness of all that has been promised. Your restoration is not a distant hope, it is a present reality, unfolding even now. You have just glimpsed the vision of restoration and overflow that is unfolding for you, and now Archangel Michael gently calls you to remain in a posture of readiness. My beloved, do not rush ahead in your own strength or let impatience steal the peace that has been planted in your heart. The wisdom of heaven is to move with intention, to stay connected, and to prepare for the next step as it is revealed. There is calm urgency in this moment, a sense that something more is coming, and you are being positioned to receive it fully. Hold this message close until you see its confirmation. If your spirit feels stirred, save this message so you can return to it as the signs begin to appear. In the comments, declare your agreement: I am ready for the next instruction. This simple act of participation is a signal to heaven and a reminder to yourself that you are not acting alone, but in partnership with divine guidance. The journey is not meant to be walked in isolation. There is strength in staying connected, in returning for the next word, and in sharing your faith with others who are on the same path. Do not let the pressure to act quickly or the fear of missing out drive you into haste. The promise is unfolding in perfect timing, and your readiness is the key. Stay attentive, for the next message will bring further clarity and direction, guiding you step by step into the fullness of what has been prepared for you. Remain expectant, Remain connected, and know that you are being led with wisdom and love. The next instruction is coming soon. Be prepared to receive it.